In today's video, we are going to explore one of the most profitable agricultural ventures that has been making millions of dollars to some commercial farmers around the world. We are exploring the business of commercial snail farming. Snail farming is simply the practice of raising snails for commercial purposes, particularly for their meat, which is considered a delicacy in many cultures, as well as for their shells, which are used in cosmetics and other industries. Snail farming can also involve the production of snail slime, which has gained popularity in skincare products for its regenerative properties. It might sound strange at first. Isn't it just slow? This video aims to equip you with the essential knowledge required to initiate and run a profitable snail business that is making small agro-entrepreneurs extremely wealthy and financially rich. Well, hold your horses, because this practice, also known as heliciculture, is gaining traction. It's a sustainable and profitable agricultural venture. People around the world are catching on. Snails are low-maintenance creatures. This video will open your eyes to the amount of hidden wealth that can be realized by starting a snail farming business. Snail farming or business don't need vast pastures. They don't require expensive feed. This makes snail farming accessible. Even small farmers with limited land can participate. This is a huge advantage in many countries, especially developing countries, because land access can be a major barrier to traditional farming. Snail farming offers an alternative. It allows people to become agricultural producers. They can generate income and contribute to food security. But snail farming isn't just about sustenance, it's also a business opportunity. The global demand for snail meat is on the rise. This demand is driven by a growing awareness of its nutritional value. Snail meat is high in protein, iron, and other essential nutrients.
In the world of agriculture, bigger isn't always better. Edible land snails provide a high protein and low cholesterol food source. Snail farming has become an important economic activity. Recently, there has been an effort to increase animal protein production. Snail farming offers a refreshing alternative. It's a slow and steady approach that prioritizes ethical and sustainable practices. Snail farming is inherently kinder to the environment. Snails are herbivores. They thrive on a diet of plants and vegetables. This means less need for commercial feed. Commercial feed production can be resource-intensive. It often relies on soy and corn, which contribute to deforestation. Furthermore, snails produce very little waste. Their manure is a valuable fertilizer. It enriches the soil and reduces the need for chemical alternatives. This closed-loop system minimizes environmental impact. It promotes a more sustainable approach to food production, but the benefits of snail farming extend beyond environmental sustainability. It also offers economic opportunities, particularly in rural communities. Snail farming can be a source of income and employment. It empowers individuals and strengthens local economies.
Snail meat, often referred to as escargot, has long been a delicacy in many cultures. From the vineyards of France to the bustling markets of Nigeria, snails are prized for their unique flavor and texture. Snail farming in Nigeria is a trending and lucrative agricultural business one can venture into due to its low capital intensity, and presently is providing millions of dollars to farmers. And this global appetite for escargot is growing. Europe remains a major consumer of snail meat. Countries like France, Spain, and Italy have a long tradition of snail consumption. However, the demand is expanding beyond these traditional markets. North America is witnessing a surge in interest in snail meat. As consumers become more adventurous with their palates, they are embracing escargot. This trend is driven by a desire for unique dining experiences and an appreciation for sustainable food choices. But the real growth story for snail farming lies in emerging markets. Asia, in particular, is experiencing an unprecedented surge in demand for snail meat. This is fueled by a growing middle class and an increasing awareness of the health benefits of snail meat.
While snail meat is the primary driver of the snail farming industry, it's not the only game in town. Snails offer a surprising range of uses that extend far beyond the dinner plate. From medicine to cosmetics, these versatile creatures are proving their worth in unexpected ways. Snail slime, once considered an undesirable byproduct, is now a sought-after ingredient in the beauty industry. Rich in hyaluronic acid, antioxidants, and collagen, snail slime is believed to possess remarkable skin-regenerating properties. It's used in a wide array of skincare products, from serums and creams to masks and treatments. But the wonders of snail slime don't stop there. Researchers are exploring its potential in medicine as well. Studies have shown that snail slime possesses antibacterial and wound-healing properties. This has led to its incorporation in bandages and wound dressings. The use of snails in traditional medicine is nothing new. For centuries, various cultures have utilized snails for their therapeutic benefits. From treating respiratory ailments to soothing skin irritations, snails have a long history of medicinal use.
Snails can be raised in a variety of environments, but their enclosures should be impenetrable to prevent them from becoming an invasive species. In a world grappling with the environmental consequences of intensive agriculture, snail farming emerges as a beacon of sustainability. It's a low-impact farming practice that treads lightly on the planet, offering a model for ethical and responsible food production. Unlike conventional livestock farming, which is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, snail farming has a negligible carbon footprint. Snails are incredibly efficient at converting feed into protein. They require far less land, water, and energy than traditional livestock. Moreover, snail farming promotes biodiversity. Snail farms often incorporate a variety of plant species to provide food and shelter for the snails. This creates a diverse ecosystem that supports a range of beneficial insects and animals. The waste generated by snail farming is minimal and easily manageable. Snail manure is a valuable fertilizer that enriches the soil and reduces the need for chemical alternatives. This closed-loop system minimizes environmental impact and contributes to a more circular economy. Section 6. A business opportunity crawling your way. For aspiring entrepreneurs and seasoned farmers alike, snail farming presents a compelling business opportunity. With its low startup costs, growing global demand, and commitment to sustainability, snail farming offers a unique blend of profitability and ethical practice. One of the most appealing aspects of snail farming is its accessibility. Starting a snail farm doesn't require a significant financial investment. Snails are relatively inexpensive to acquire. They can be housed in simple, low-cost structures. This makes snail farming a viable option for individuals with limited capital. The global demand for snail meat, snail slime, and other snail-derived products is on the rise. This growing market presents a significant opportunity for entrepreneurs and other farmers to capitalize on the increasing demand and secure their financial future. Furthermore, snail farming aligns perfectly with the growing consumer demand for sustainable and ethically sourced products. Consumers are increasingly conscious of the environmental and ethical implications of their food choices. They are actively seeking out products that are produced responsibly and sustainably.
The world wants snails. The global snail market was valued at $593.4 million in 2022 and is expected to reach $1.58 billion by 2032. The growth is due to the increasing demand for snail products and delicacies worldwide. Snail farming might seem niche, but it's booming globally. Demand is surging worldwide. People are developing a taste for this sustainable protein. Cosmetics and pharmaceuticals are also tapping into snails. The global snail market is set to reach billions. Europe has a long and storied history with snails. For centuries, these slow-moving creatures have graced the tables of European diners, particularly in countries like France, Italy, and Spain. While snail consumption in Europe remains strong, the industry is undergoing a transformation. Traditional snail harvesting methods, often reliant on wild-caught snails, are facing challenges due to overharvesting and habitat loss. This has led to a growing emphasis on snail farming as a sustainable alternative. European snail farms are increasingly adopting modern techniques to improve efficiency and productivity. Closed-system farms which offer greater control over environmental factors are becoming increasingly popular. These farms allow for year-round production and reduce reliance on pesticides and herbicides. The European Union is a significant producer and consumer of snails. Countries like France, Poland, and Greece are major players in the snail farming industry. The EU has implemented regulations to ensure the quality and safety of snail products, further strengthening consumer confidence.
While Europe has long embraced snails as a culinary delicacy, North America has been slower to warm up to these shelled creatures. However, the tide is turning. As consumers become more adventurous with their palates and prioritize sustainable food choices, snail consumption in North America is on the rise. High-end restaurants are leading the charge, introducing escargot dishes to a new generation of diners. Snail meat is also gaining traction in specialty food stores and online retailers, making it more accessible to home cooks. North American snail farms are emerging to meet this growing demand. Many of these farms are small-scale operations focusing on sustainable and ethical farming practices. They're attracting consumers who are seeking out locally sourced and responsibly produced food. The growing popularity of snail slime in the cosmetic industry is also contributing to the acceptance of snails in North America. As consumers become more familiar with the benefits of snail-derived products, they are more likely to view snails in a positive light.
Africa is experiencing a food revolution. As the continent grapples with the challenges of population growth, climate change, and food insecurity, innovative and sustainable agricultural practices are taking center stage. Snail farming, with its low barriers to entry, high nutritional value, and minimal environmental impact, is emerging as a lucrative farming and agro-business alternative for many African communities. Snail meat has long been a part of traditional diets in many parts of Africa. However, wild snail populations are dwindling due to overharvesting and habitat loss. Snail farming offers a sustainable solution, ensuring a consistent supply of this valuable protein source. Snail farming is particularly well suited to the African context. It requires minimal land, water, and inputs, making it accessible to smallholder farmers and women who often face barriers to land ownership and access to resources. Governments and NGOs are recognizing the potential of snail farming to improve livelihoods, enhance food security, and empower marginalized communities. They are implementing programs to provide training, technical assistance, and access to markets for snail farmers. Section 5, West Africa, a snail farming hub. West Africa is a hotbed of snail farming activity. Countries like Nigeria, Ghana, and Côte d'Ivoire are major producers and consumers of snails. The region's favorable climate, abundance of suitable land and long tradition of snail consumption have created a thriving snail farming industry. Nigeria, with its large population and growing demand for snail meat, is a dominant player in the West African snail market. Snail farming is seen as a viable business opportunity, attracting both smallholder farmers and large-scale investors. Ghana is another major snail producer in West Africa. The country has a well-established snail farming industry with a strong focus on export markets. Ghanaian snail farmers are known for their expertise in producing high-quality snails. Côte d'Ivoire is a rising star in the West African snail farming scene. The country's government has identified snail farming as a key sector for agricultural development and is providing support to farmers. Section 6, East Africa, rising demand, untapped potential. East Africa is witnessing a surge in demand for snail meat driven by population growth, urbanization, and changing dietary preferences. While snail farming in the region is still in its early stages, it holds immense potential to enhance food security, generate income, and empower communities. Kenya is at the forefront of East Africa's snail farming movement. The country's favorable climate and growing demand for snail meat have attracted entrepreneurs and farmers alike. Kenyan snail farms are supplying both domestic and export markets. Tanzania is another East African country with significant potential for snail farming. The country has a suitable climate and a long tradition of snail consumption. However, snail farming is still relatively underdeveloped in Tanzania. Uganda is also showing promise in the snail farming sector. The Ugandan government has recognized the potential of snail farming to improve livelihoods and is providing support to farmers.
Southern Africa faces unique challenges in terms of snail farming. Snail farming is gradually gaining traction in South Africa as an emerging agricultural enterprise. The country's favorable climate, coupled with an increasing interest in alternative protein sources and value-added products like snail slime, presents opportunities for successful snail farming. While the industry is still relatively small compared to other agricultural sectors, it holds significant potential for growth, both in terms of local consumption and international export. The region's arid climate and limited water resources can pose obstacles to snail production. However, innovative farmers are finding ways to overcome these challenges and tap into the growing demand for snail meat. South Africa is a pioneer in southern African snail farming. Despite the country's dry climate, South African farmers are successfully raising snails using innovative techniques such as shade netting and irrigation systems. South African snails, especially Achatina species, like the giant African land snail, are in demand internationally, particularly in Europe and other African countries. Snail meat is regarded as a delicacy in several global markets, and snail farming can be a lucrative export business. Zimbabwe is another southern African country with a growing snail farming industry. Zimbabwean farmers are capitalizing on the increasing demand for snail meat from neighboring countries. Zambia is also showing potential in the snail farming sector. The Zambian government has identified snail farming as a priority area for agricultural diversification and is providing support to farmers. Asia, with its massive population and rapidly growing economies, is emerging as a major player in the global snail farming industry. The region's insatiable appetite for snails, coupled with its tradition of using snails in traditional medicine and cosmetics, is fueling an unprecedented surge in demand. China, with its vast population and love for unique culinary experiences, is a driving force behind Asia's snail craze. Chinese consumers are embracing snails as a delicacy and a source of protein, leading to a surge in demand for both domestically produced and imported snails. Japan, known for its sophisticated palate and appreciation for high-quality food, is another major consumer of snails in Asia. Japanese cuisine often features snails in dishes like escargot bourguignon and escargot pizza. Southeast Asian countries like Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia are also witnessing a growing demand for snails. These countries have a long tradition of using snails in traditional medicine and are now incorporating snails into their culinary traditions. Across Africa, a culinary tradition thrives around a humble yet prized creature, the snail. From Lagos to Zimbabwe, snails hold a special place in African cuisine. The African land snail, Achatina fulica, is the most commonly consumed species. Its large size and adaptability make it ideal for farming. Snail meat is a cultural icon, deeply ingrained in traditions and celebrations. Preparation varies widely, reflecting Africa's culinary diversity.
Nigeria, often hailed as the giant of Africa, is a leading force in the world of snail farming. The humid tropical climate of southern Nigeria provides ideal conditions for snail rearing. Nigerian snail farmers, from small-scale backyard operations to larger ventures, are embracing modern techniques to meet soaring demand. Improved snail breeds, climate-controlled housing, and efficient feeding practices are becoming common. Snail farming in Nigeria is a growing and potentially lucrative agricultural venture, driven by the increasing demand for snails in local and international markets. Snails are highly valued for their meat, which is rich in protein, low in fat, and considered a delicacy in many Nigerian households. Additionally, snail slime is being explored for its cosmetic and medicinal properties, adding further value to snail farming. Snail meat is a popular delicacy in Nigerian cuisine, often used in soups, stews, and traditional dishes. It is especially popular in ethnic groups like the Igbos, Yorubas, and Ijaws. The demand for snail meat in the domestic market is high and continues to rise. Snails from Nigeria are also exported to other African countries, Europe, and parts of Asia, where they are valued for both culinary and medicinal uses. The export market, however, requires adherence to quality standards and proper packaging. Snail farming in Nigeria is an emerging industry with a lot of potential for both local consumption and export. With proper management practices, adequate training, and access to markets, snail farming can become a profitable business, contributing to food security, economic development, and sustainable agriculture in the country. Ghana is emerging as a major player in the international snail trade. Ghanaian snail farmers are recognized for their commitment to quality and sustainability. The humid forest zones of Ghana provide an ideal habitat for snails, allowing them to thrive on a natural diet. Ghana's tropical climate is well suited for snail farming, particularly in the southern and central regions where rainfall is abundant and the humidity levels are high. Snails thrive in these humid conditions, making Nigeria an ideal location for snail farming. Apart from selling snail meat, there is growing interest in snail slime for cosmetic and pharmaceutical purposes. This presents an opportunity for farmers to explore value-added products. Ghanaian snails are now enjoyed by diners in Europe, North America, and Asia, boosting the livelihoods of farmers.
South Africa is proving that snail farming can thrive even in challenging climates. Farmers use shade netting, drip irrigation, and climate-controlled shelters to create suitable microclimates. Snails raised in drier environments tend to be healthier and require less medication. South African farmers are exploring the use of indigenous plants as snail feed, promoting biodiversity.
In Cameroon, snail farming is gaining traction as a sustainable alternative to hunting wild snails. Overharvesting and habitat loss have threatened wild snail populations. Snail farming helps meet the demand for snail meat while conserving wild populations. Across Africa, millions face food insecurity. Snail farming offers a promising solution with its low barriers to entry and high nutritional value. Snail meat is rich in essential nutrients, including protein, iron, calcium, and vitamins. It is a low-fat, cholesterol-free source of animal protein. Snail farming requires minimal land, water, and inputs, making it accessible to smallholder farmers. Even a small backyard snail farm can provide a family with protein and income. The promotion of snail farming is gaining momentum across Africa.
In many parts of Africa, women play a pivotal role in agriculture. Snail farming presents a unique opportunity to empower women and uplift communities. It can be easily integrated into existing farming systems, requiring minimal additional land or labor. Women can manage snail farms alongside other responsibilities, generating income. The income from snail farming provides financial independence and improves families' standard of living. Snail farming fosters community development through collaboration and knowledge sharing.
The future of snail farming in Africa is bright, driven by growing demand and recognition of its potential. As urbanization and incomes rise, the demand for snail meat is expected to soar. Snail farming creates jobs, generates income, and improves livelihoods. Snail manure can be used as a natural fertilizer, promoting sustainable agriculture. Snail shells have various applications, including animal feed and crafts. Innovation, collaboration, and farmer empowerment are key to unlocking the full potential of snail farming. In Asia, snails are revered as a delicacy, a source of traditional medicine, and a symbol of sustainable agriculture. Asian snail species are prized for their delicate flavor and tender texture. From Vietnam to Thailand, snails tantalize taste buds and challenge culinary preconceptions. Snail slime is believed to possess healing properties and is used in modern cosmetics and pharmaceuticals. This ancient wisdom is being revisited, with snail slime finding its way into various products. China has embraced the snail, elevating it to a sought-after delicacy. From street food stalls to upscale restaurants, snails are making their mark on the Chinese palate. Chinese chefs incorporate snails into stir-fries, soups, and dumplings. The snails are often cooked with aromatic herbs and spices, enhancing their delicate flavor. In Japan, snails exemplify the blend of tradition and innovation. One iconic dish is escargots à la bourguignon, influenced by French cuisine. Japanese chefs add local ingredients to create a unique flavor profile. Snail slime is prized for its moisturizing and anti-aging properties in cosmetics. Researchers are exploring its medicinal potential for wound healing and tissue regeneration. Snail-based products reflect Japan's culinary ingenuity and reverence for tradition.
South Korea has embraced the snail as a culinary delicacy and a symbol of beauty. Snail slime, rich in hyaluronic acid and collagen, is popular in the beauty industry. Entrepreneurs develop innovative snail-based products, from skincare to pet treats. The government supports the snail industry through research grants and subsidies. Snail farming offers economic potential and aligns with South Korea's love for innovation.
Thailand offers a unique adventure for snail enthusiasts. Thai cuisine features spicy stir-fries and fiery salads with snails. Hoi keng, a spicy and sour soup, is a popular dish. Street food vendors offer deep-fried snail snacks, seasoned with chili powder. Adventurous eaters are rewarded with a challenging and rewarding culinary experience. Indonesia, a sprawling archipelago, has a deep-rooted appreciation for snails. In the Minahasa region, snails are cooked in coconut milk with aromatic spices. Tinutuan, a popular dish, features snails and vegetables in a flavorful stew. On Lombok, snails are grilled over charcoal, imparting a smoky flavor. Grilled snails are served with a chili pepper dipping sauce. Snail consumption reflects the diversity and adaptability of Indonesian cuisine.
Across Asia, snails have been revered for their medicinal properties for centuries. Traditional healers use snail slime to treat burns, wounds, acne, and wrinkles. In China, snail slime is believed to have cooling and detoxifying properties. Snail slime treats respiratory problems like coughs and asthma. In Korea, snail slime is prized for its anti-aging properties. Modern studies show snail slime has antibacterial, antiviral, and antioxidant properties. This ancient wisdom is now being validated by science.
Asian countries lead the way in sustainable snail farming practices. Vertical farming maximizes space and optimizes snail growth. Aquaponics combines aquaculture with hydroponics, creating a sustainable system. Snail waste provides nutrients for plants, and plants purify water for snails. Farmers explore alternative feed sources, promoting a circular economy. These practices ensure a steady supply of snails while minimizing environmental impact. The future of snail farming in Asia is bright, fueled by a growing demand, innovative farming practices, and a deep-rooted appreciation for the culinary and medicinal value of snails. As Asian economies continue to grow and disposable incomes rise, the demand for snails, both for consumption and for use in cosmetics and pharmaceuticals, is expected to skyrocket. Asian entrepreneurs, known for their business acumen and their ability to capitalize on emerging trends, are well positioned to meet this growing demand. From high-tech snail farms to innovative snail-based products, Asia is poised to become a global leader in the snail industry. The rise of snail farming in Asia is a testament to the region's ability to blend tradition with innovation, creating a sustainable and profitable industry while preserving cultural heritage. Don't be fooled, snails may not move very fast, but these shelled creatures are making farmers a lot of money. It's not about vast pastures or thundering hooves, it's about working with nature at nature's pace. It's a different rhythm, a different mindset. Modern agriculture often feels like a race, bigger, faster, more yield. But this relentless pursuit of efficiency comes at a cost. We've seen the consequences: depleted soils, polluted waterways, and a disconnect from the natural world. Snail farming offers a refreshing alternative. It's about slowing down, observing, and working in harmony with nature's cycles. It's about recognizing that sustainability isn't just a buzzword, it's the foundation of a resilient food system. This approach might seem counterintuitive in our fast-paced world, but remember, the tortoise won the race. Snail farming is about playing the long game, building a system that is both productive and sustainable for generations to come. One of the biggest hurdles for aspiring farmers is land access. Traditional farming often requires vast acreage, making it inaccessible for many. But snail farming throws out the rule book. It doesn't demand sprawling fields. Think about it. Snails aren't cattle roaming the range. They don't need acres upon acres to graze. They thrive in smaller, controlled environments. A backyard, a greenhouse, even an unused urban lot can become a snail haven. This opens doors for folks with limited land. Urban farmers, homesteaders, even folks in apartments can participate. It's about maximizing production in minimal space, a concept that resonates in our increasingly crowded world. And let's not forget the ecological benefits. Less land use means less habitat destruction. Snail farming allows us to produce food while minimizing our footprint on the planet. It's about coexisting, not conquering.
Section 3. A drop in the bucket, water conservation in snail farming. Water, the lifeblood of our planet, is becoming increasingly precious. Agriculture, a major water consumer, needs to adapt. And guess what? Snail farming is a model of water efficiency. Think about those thirsty crops like corn and soy. They guzzle water like there's no tomorrow. Snail farming, on the other hand, is a model of conservation. Snails, those masters of moisture regulation, get most of their water from their food. This means you don't need elaborate irrigation systems. A simple misting system, or even just watering their food, is often enough to keep these little guys hydrated. In regions facing water scarcity, this is a game changer. And remember, snail farming is all about closed-loop systems. Excess water from cleaning their enclosures can be used to irrigate nearby plants. It's about seeing water not as a disposable resource, but as a valuable asset to be conserved and reused.
Section 4, feed me, Seymour, but hold the soy and corn. Now let's talk feed. Conventional livestock farming relies heavily on grain-based feed, often soy and corn. But these crops come with a hefty environmental price tag: deforestation, pesticide use, and depletion of soil nutrients. Snail farming, in stark contrast, is a breath of fresh air, literally. Snails are herbivores, but they're not picky eaters. They'll munch on a variety of fruits, vegetables, and leafy greens. Think kitchen scraps, overripe produce, even weeds from the garden. This means you can say goodbye to those bags of commercial feed. You're not just raising snails, you're reducing food waste. It's about creating a closed-loop system where nothing goes to waste. And because snails thrive on a diverse diet, you're promoting biodiversity. Forget those monoculture cornfields. Snail farming encourages a variety of plants, creating a healthier ecosystem for everyone. Here's a dirty little secret about conventional farming. Waste management is a nightmare. Manure lagoons pollute waterways and excess nutrients disrupt ecosystems. But snail farming, they turn waste into a resource. Think about it. Snails are practically self-cleaning. Their waste, a combination of excrement and leftover food, decomposes quickly into a nutrient-rich fertilizer. It's like black gold for your garden. This means no more chemical fertilizers which pollute waterways and deplete soil health. Snail farming allows you to close the loop, returning nutrients to the soil and creating a more sustainable system. And let's not forget the slime. Yes, snail slime, often seen as a nuisance, is a valuable byproduct. It's packed with nutrients and beneficial compounds, making it a sought-after ingredient in cosmetics and even medicine. Section 6. A penny saved is a penny earned. The economics of snail farming. Now, let's talk dollars and cents. Starting a traditional farm requires deep pockets, land, equipment, livestock, it all adds up. But snail farming, it's surprisingly affordable. Remember, snails don't need fancy housing. A simple enclosure, even a repurposed container will do. Their food is cheap and readily available. And because they reproduce quickly, you can grow your stock rapidly. This low barrier to entry makes snail farming accessible to folks with limited capital. It's a way for small farmers, homesteaders, and even urban dwellers to generate income from a small footprint. And the market for snail products is growing. Demand for escargot, snail slime, and other snail-derived products is on the rise. As consumers become more conscious of sustainable and ethical food choices, the future of snail farming looks bright.
Section 7. From backyard to business scalability in snail farming. One of the beauties of snail farming is its scalability. You can start small, even with just a few snails in your backyard, and gradually expand as you gain experience and demand grows. This flexibility makes snail farming adaptable to a variety of contexts. Whether you're a hobbyist looking to supplement your income or an entrepreneur aiming for a full-scale operation, snail farming can meet your needs. As your operation grows, you can explore different avenues for expansion. You can increase the size of your enclosures, add more breeding stock, or even specialize in different snail products, such as escargot, snail slime, or snail caviar. The key is to start small, learn as you go, and gradually scale up your operation at a pace that feels comfortable and manageable.
Section 8. The tortoise and the hare long-term vision in a fast-paced world. In a world obsessed with instant gratification and short-term gains, snail farming stands as a quiet rebellion. It's a reminder that slow and steady wins the race, that sustainability is not a sacrifice but an investment in the future. Snail farming is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It requires patience, observation, and a willingness to work in harmony with nature's rhythms. But for those willing to embrace the snail's pace, the rewards are manifold. By choosing snail farming, we're choosing a different path, one that prioritizes environmental stewardship, animal welfare, and community well-being. We're choosing to be part of the solution, not the problem. So let's slow down, take a deep breath, and appreciate the humble snail. It might just hold the key to a more sustainable and delicious future. Snail farming is incredibly gentle on the planet. It aligns with nature's rhythms, minimizing waste and maximizing resource efficiency. Snail farming is a niche farming concept which has evolved here in recent years. Heliciculture is not only a feasible option for farmers due to the few participants in the industry and therefore limited competition, but also due to the market options available both regionally and internationally. Snails convert food into protein efficiently, requiring less land, water, and energy. They thrive on a diverse diet of fruits, vegetables, and leafy greens. Snail manure is a nutrient-rich fertilizer, enriching the soil sustainably. One of the most daunting aspects of traditional farming is the initial investment. Land, equipment, livestock, it all adds up, often pricing out aspiring farmers, especially young people, and those from marginalized communities. Snail farming, however, bucks this trend, offering a surprisingly affordable entry point into the world of agriculture. Think about it, you don't need acres upon acres of land. Snails are perfectly content in smaller, controlled environments. A backyard, a greenhouse, even an unused urban lot can be transformed into a productive snail farm. Their housing requirements are simple. Forget the expensive barns and outbuildings. Snails can be raised in repurposed containers, old tires, or even specially designed snail pens. Their feed, as we've discussed, can be sourced locally and affordably, further reducing overhead costs. This low barrier to entry is a game changer, making snail farming accessible to a wider range of people. It empowers individuals to become food producers, regardless of their economic background, fostering a more inclusive and equitable food system. Market demand, a growing appetite for all things snail. Snail farming taps into a growing global market. Consumers prioritize ethical and sustainable food choices, increasing demand for snail products. Escargot is finding its way onto menus across the globe. Chefs embrace the unique flavor and texture of snail meat. Snail slime is now a sought-after ingredient in the cosmetic industry. Rich in hyaluronic acid, antioxidants, and collagen, it has remarkable skin-regenerating properties. It's in serums, creams, masks, and treatments. Snail caviar is a delicacy gaining traction among adventurous foodies. Section 4. Environmental champion, treading lightly on the planet. Sustainable farming practices are a necessity in an era of climate change. Snail farming, with its minimal environmental impact, is a shining example. Conventional livestock farming contributes to deforestation. Snail farming requires less land, preserving biodiversity. It's also water efficient, reducing pressure on water sources. And it produces minimal methane emissions, offering a climate-friendly alternative. The future is now. Snail farming's time to shine. It aligns with sustainability, social justice, and economic viability. The future of food is not about outdated models of mass production. It's about embracing innovative, regenerative practices. Snail farming, with its low impact and high nutritional value, exemplifies this shift. It faces challenges, but the potential is undeniable. It's time to recognize the value of snails. Embrace the humble snail for a sustainable future. As we've journeyed through the fascinating world of snail farming, from its ancient origins to its modern-day resurgence, one thing has become abundantly clear. The humble snail is much more than meets the eye. It's a symbol of a more sustainable, equitable, and delicious future. Snail farming emerges as a beacon of hope, offering a gentler, more harmonious way to produce food while minimizing our impact on the planet. For far too long, the dominant narrative in agriculture has been one of bigger is better, faster is progress. We've cleared forests, ploughed under prairies, and erected massive industrial farms, all in the pursuit of ever-increasing yields. But this relentless pursuit of efficiency has come at a steep cost, leaving a trail of environmental degradation and social inequity in its wake. Snail farming challenges this paradigm, offering a compelling alternative that prioritizes sustainability, biodiversity, and community well-being. Embracing the snail's pace means shifting our focus from short-term gains to long-term resilience. It means valuing quality over quantity, diversity over monoculture, and collaboration over competition. It means recognizing that the health of our food system is inextricably linked to the health of our planet and its people. From niche to norm, snail farming's journey to mainstream acceptance. Snail farming, once on the fringes, is gaining traction among farmers, entrepreneurs, and consumers. Its environmental and social benefits are propelling it from niche to mainstream. This shift is driven by a confluence of factors. Consumers seek sustainable, ethically produced options. Farmers explore resilient, profitable practices. Governments support snail farming for food security and rural development. The power of small, empowering individuals, transforming communities. One of the most inspiring aspects of snail farming is its ability to empower individuals and transform communities, particularly in developing countries where access to land and resources is often limited. Unlike industrial agriculture, which tends to concentrate wealth and power in the hands of a few, snail farming offers a more equitable and accessible pathway to food security and economic opportunity. With its low startup costs and minimal land requirements, snail farming is an ideal livelihood strategy for smallholder farmers, women, and youth. It can be easily integrated into existing farming systems, providing a supplementary source of income and nutrition. Moreover, snail farming fosters community cohesion. It creates opportunities for collaboration, knowledge sharing, and the establishment of cooperatives, strengthening social bonds and fostering collective action. By empowering individuals, snail farming has the potential to uplift entire communities, creating a ripple effect of positive change. The evidence is clear: snail farming holds immense promise as a sustainable, equitable, and delicious way to nourish our growing population. For those inspired by the snail's journey, there are many ways to get involved. Start by educating yourself about snail farming, exploring the resources available online and in your community. Consider starting your own small-scale snail farm, even if it's just a few snails in your backyard. Support local snail farmers by purchasing their products, advocating for policies that support sustainable agriculture, and spreading the word about the benefits of snail farming. The future is delicious, embracing a world of sustainable gastronomy. As we look to the future of food, one thing is certain: the days of mass-produced, environmentally destructive food systems are numbered. Consumers are demanding more transparency, sustainability, and flavor in their food choices, driving a shift towards a more diverse and ethical culinary landscape. Snail farming, with its commitment to sustainability, animal welfare, and culinary innovation, is poised to play a leading role in this gastronomic revolution. From classic escargot preparations to innovative snail-based products, the possibilities are endless, limited only by our imagination. Overall, snail farming can be a lucrative business when managed well, with relatively low capital investment and the potential for sustainable production. So, let us embrace the humble snail as a symbol of a more sustainable and delicious future. Let us savor its unique flavor, marvel at its resilience, and learn from its gentle wisdom. The future of food is here, and it's crawling our way. Please share, like, and subscribe.